Good morning, everybody. It's me, the great Mattsby. Tracker, I don't know where he is. He ran away, maybe. But so far, I'll just wait for him to join. But right now, we'll just get started pretty soon with the indices. And I see a lot of requests coming through. And I see, good morning, Melissa, Rumble Belly, Conrad, Angel, Buy the Dip, yes, King Size Smile, and Monkey Box and Argy. Yeah, I think that's all the comments I see so far. So let's get started here with the SPY. And how does this one look? Well, it looks like it just is basically trying to continue up higher, right? We can see that day over day price action is just continuing to melt up with the conversion line, with all the indices, or all the indicators here just keep on sloping upwards. The trend is your friend. Could it come back down to retest some support levels? Yes, of course. Like 631 would be a minimum target. Maybe down on the 620s is also possible. But the next bigger resistance is right here at 648.98 up top. And QQQ right here, we can see the same situation. That price is trying to get to the 1.272 fib right here at 578.46, and this is looking like it has potential to get there before any kind of major correction, any kind of major dip. So we're just going to keep watching that zone for a potential resistance point before any kind of rejection. But right now, the support is 564 down to the 547.88, and so on. So this is looking better and better for support if it wanted to go back down to the 560s or 564 or the 540s as well. So very, very nice development here. And IWM, we can see that it's just range bound still. 219 still is that support, 226.80 resistance. It's just stuck in that range right there as well. Getting ready to break above that 226.80. Can't get more excited until this level breaks. And lastly, we can just take a look at Bitcoin here. And I think Tracker did join, right? Yeah, where's Tracker? Can you hear me, Tracker?
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm here. Good morning.
Oh, yeah, you're a little bit late, huh?
A little bit
All
late.
right.
I had to restart both my PCs.
Fair enough. Let me just finish Bitcoin and then I'll switch to you then, Tracker. But yeah, things are just looking normal. Here's the Bitcoin chart, still in the same range as before. Some of the altcoins are under pressure right now, but that's just because, in my opinion, Bitcoin dominance is just going back up to resistance. A lot of people got excited right here at support, right? Like, oh, things are going to just start accelerating for altcoins. But you know what? It's a process. It's not just going to go skyrocket. This is a breakout. This is a back test of the Bitcoin dominance right here. So we can just essentially see it went straight back to support. So, of course, it's going to outperform the altcoins for a short little while because it has some ways to go back up to resistance, right? Even the baseline right up here is around 63%. So it does have that potential. So just patience with the altcoins, let Bitcoin do its thing. But I think eventually, given enough time, it's going to break through this support and head lower. But this is just always a process, right? Just like on the way up, it came up, got rejected here, came back down, right? And now it's the opposite. So it comes back down, it gets support here, so it's going to come up here, and then it's probably going to roll over later. So good developments all in all. Don't worry about the altcoins. They are just fine. All right, Tracker.
All right. Good morning, everybody. This episode of the Mattsby and Tracker Show is brought to you by the Ichimoku cloud and the number 0.618. I just wanted to show you. One of my subscribers was asking me yesterday, hey, Tracker, does it mean anything, the color of the Ichimoku cloud? Like sometimes it's red and sometimes it's green. And the answer is yes. Actually, the green means that it's likely to be supportive. Well, first off, it means that you're in a bullish phase and it's likely to be supportive. When you see red, it's in a bearish phase and it's likely to be resistive, right? So you can see here, what is going on with my computer? You can see back here that we had a long green supportive phase. This is my 16-hour version of 16-hour candlesticks of Bitcoin, and it's been bullish, right? We had a little blip here where it was like red, green, red, green, red, and then green again. And on the 16-hour chart, there's no red in sight. So expect now that the price has come down to touch the cloud should be supportive. This is why everyone's getting nervous, though, because sometimes when price touches the cloud, it ends up entering the cloud to argue the whole thing. And in fact, when it entered the cloud, went to the bottom side, that throws off a sell signal. Then it goes back into the cloud, exits to the top side, that throws a buy signal. It threw the market for a tizzy, and we had this little zone here where it was kind of bearish, no bullish, bearish, no bullish, no bearish, and then finally bullish. And we are in a bullish phase now. This has just been a little consolidation. I think 114.518 was the bottom, and we just need, see right here where it kind of does this? I think we just need to, it's touch the cloud, under the cloud, back on top of the cloud. It might just need to touch the cloud a couple more times with some wicks, and then price needs to start to rise up over this hump here, and then move away from the cloud, and then people will start to, the sentiment will be much more bullish than it's been. All this time that altcoins and all those treasury crypto treasury companies have been just doing terrible. All Bitcoin's been doing is just been barcoding. It's just basically been going sideways, but that leaves everyone to wonder, to question the sentiment. Yesterday I talked about, like, the pantheon of gods or whatever. Like, are you a believer or not? And this sort of separates the believers from the atheists from the anyway. My brain isn't thinking of all the words, but this is it. Once we rise over this cloud again, everyone will be like, oh, okay, the strategy will work. Sailor strategy will work for Sailor's company and all the other companies, and then all those they'll start to run up again. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say about that. Tesla looks bullish as well. Here's the Tesla chart. We've come through a period of red bearishness, just temporarily on the 16-hour chart, and yes, it's mixed again, green, then red, then here's a little bit of green. But once again, it's consolidation, and we just need to get off of the cloud and start moving up again for everyone to feel like it's more bullish, like we did back here, where it was green, then red, then green, and then it moved off, right? So that's it. We just need to move off here, and you'll start to feel it then. For now, everyone's kind of like, yeah, they're in and out. They can't tell. People who actually have bought both calls and puts, you can profit from both sides of the trade for a little bit longer until we do exit this triangle here. And then it's all bullish from there. All right, back to you, Matt.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so I'll check out my Tesla chart right over here. And let's go switch to my screen. All right, so yeah, here's Tesla. We can see that still in the cloud, still above all the indicators that are important, especially the 50-week moving average and even the conversion and the baseline there too. So I think it's getting ready for making its next move higher. It's just consolidating in the same range that it has been basically for the past couple of weeks here. So it's just a patience game. It's not like any danger of breaking down, right? Just patience, and those who have the patience will get rewarded, because the next levels, 340s, 350s, is looking likely for that continuation higher. And yeah, we'll take a look here too at Baba. And Baba, we can see that price is stuck in a range, right? There's the fib up here, 136. There's a fib down here, 111. So that's the range that it's back in after a beautiful back test of the 50-week moving average right here, breakout back test. And it's good, right? Reclaiming all of this support is great. It's just not ready to break completely above, mainly because the baseline's kind of getting in the way as a resistance there, maybe around the 120s. So it's just more consolidation. And could it come back down to the 115s, 113s, and maybe even touch the cloud again? Yes, it's possible, right? So it's just in this kind of a wedge triangle formation trying to break out. So just give it patience, but it's bullish chart. I think 136 is going to be the next target. And once it breaks above that, it'll be able to go much higher, but just going to take time. Let's see, LAES here. How does this seal spilled backwards look? I think it's going back to 288, right? It's just been range bound forever. It's been a very boring stock. And I think the reason why is because the majority of the move already really happened, right? People get excited when you see massive breakouts, but this breakout, it happened already. And if you want to see that percentage, it's basically 2,000%. So when something rallies 2,000%, then it's just going to probably trade sideways for a long time, and that's exactly what it's doing. So now we can see that this does have good potential to stabilize 288, and that's a previous resistance right here of trying to flip to support. So how long is it going to do this stabilization on top of this 288 or like the 250 zone? Could be for a long time, right? Could just be bouncing in this range for some time until it's really ready to make a move in either
What's the
direction.
monthly cloud look like?
The monthly cloud, there is none, right?
Oh crap!
Actually,
I guess you have made a two-week cloud.
yeah. Well, the leading span A is starting to form right here, just a little bit.
Yeah, there you go.
2 week.
2 week.
Is there a 2 week cloud? Yeah,
Yay!
it's inside the 2 week cloud, but ultimately, it's just these two fibs, right? The 494 and the 288.
Yeah.
And until one of those breaks, nothing's going to happen. It's just a very, very boring stock. And the reason why is because I already said the majority of the move right here already happened. So this is why I don't chase, because a lot of the excitement fizzles out over time.
Yeah, you kids at home can turn their Bollinger Bands on now and look at that. But Matt, you can continue. No, you don't have to take up Bollinger Bands. Just keep going.
Yeah, I think VVPR. Let's look at that one. I haven't looked at that one in a while. VVPR. And Vivo Power. Here we go. It's at the 382 right there. That is the 606 getting rejected. And the 200-week moving average is here as well. So this is also more consolidation after a giant move has been made. Now it's consolidating underneath resistance as expected. It already backtested the 254 down here, so is it guaranteed to go back down there? No, but is it possible? Yes, there's a lot of confluence of support down there with the 100-week, 50-week, and that 254. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, but I think it's probably just going to stay in this range too for some time, the 606, 254, maybe just bounce back and forth until it's really ready to get more bullish. But ideally, if you're going to look for a breakout, it's going to have to be above that 606 and this 200-week moving average at the same time, which is currently at 840. But until then, it's just going to be a big resistance zone. And lastly, I'll take a look at some crypto here, some algo. How's this one looking? Well, it's going back for a back test, maybe the conversion baseline down here at 24 cents. Maybe the 50-week moving average at 23. So that's what we're experiencing with a lot of altcoins right now. It's just more and more back tests. And it's perfectly healthy, perfectly normal. Even like with Link, I see a request with that too. It's going back for a back test too, but how low will it go? I mean, that's the limbo game, right? How low will you go? Well, this is possible to come back down all the way to the 1589, right? The 50% fib. But I had that black line drawn there simply because this was a very important zone before, right? This was the previous resistance here, tried to flip to support right here, then a resistance here, then a breakout, then a resistance here. So it's not really guaranteed to go back down to that 1589. It could start to show some stability actually right here, right now. So I'm not fearful of any of these alts, even though they are going a little bit lower. It just looks really, really nice for these breakouts and back tests. And I don't like the breakouts, but I love the back test. And we're getting those right now, but that's when people are starting to get fearful. They think things are going to start to crash right now, but in actuality, this is healthy, very, very healthy before trying to break out. So any further weakness, I will be very, very happy and maybe even start to buy more and more and more and more and more and more. All right, back to you.
Oh yeah, there's a breakout back test right there with a W for winning.
Yeah, Link looks fantastic. It just can't break above the cloud yet. So it's just a patience game. Like people want instant gratification, but sometimes, especially this cycle, you're not getting that instant gratification. You're just getting patience and patience and patience. They break out and then they wait forever, and then they break out and they wait forever. But this is healthy. This is a healthy development for amazing things to come, but you got to have the patience for it or you're not going to make money.
I'm laughing because I'm looking up at the screen and then suddenly realizing that this newcomer was once Bitcoin bankrupted my family, is now BMNR bankrupted my family. And BMNR bankrupted my family asks, are you in the consensus where we see a correction mid-August into September?
Well, I think the answer to that question is
I'm trying to remember how we convened for a quorum for that, but what do you think, Matt?
I think the answer to the question is IWM, and IWM is looking like it wants to break out. And if IWM wants to break out, then that's going to be very, very bullish. And right now, it's just battling this 786 and the top of the cloud. So I think just give it a few more weeks, and it might be good to go. So in my opinion, no. Like maybe there might be a correction in some of the things that have been the high flyers, like the semis, or like Nvidia and AMD, or maybe even some of the mega cap stocks. But the risk on stuff looks really at support. Even the crypto miners, the Bitcoin miners, they look like they're at support. And the altcoins, they're approaching their high time frame support zones for a back test too. So I cannot be bearish about anything going into August, especially when it looks like it's risk on, right? So maybe Nvidia and AMD, like I said, or some of the semis, they might correct a little bit, but this IWM chart is telling a big story. I think it looks great.
Yeah, just remember from some of our very first, I think episode 2 of the Triumvirate when we met. I came in with the argument that the Russell Index sucks, IWM sucks. It's the indices where the newcomers come in, and then when they do well, they get promoted to SPY and like leave all the losers behind in it. And Kat and Matt said, no, 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 no. Your experience in the last couple of decades is that the SPY outperforms the IWM, but we're coming to a point where that's not going to be true anymore. And you've seen my chart. I've shown you guys for the last few days, or more than the last few days, my SPY chart where it looks like it really is coming kind of asymptotically approaching a top. We're just a few percentages away from it, but it kind of keeps sawtoothing up and here, I'll show you. Thanks, Pat. I'll show you the chart. It just goes up and down and up and down. Oh, my computer's having trouble loading. Anyway, the SPY is almost topping out. Meanwhile, the IWM is getting ready to break out because the small caps are going to outperform the large caps. And that's what Matt and Kat have been talking about for the last, has it been 2 years? I don't know, a year and a half.
Well, not too. Yeah, I think we started this just a little bit over a year ago. This
so we're approaching that tipping point now. Anyway, so here's my Bitmine chart right here, and I just do a retrace from this low here of $1.93 up to this high up here at 160.96. And if you go right to the center, look for that center point, the 50%. 1761 was resistance forever. Resistance. Comes down here. That's when it hits the low. Resistance, and then breaks out, tests the 1114 right here, or almost 114, and that's where it breaks out and then gets the 160.96. And so now, after the breakout, the support it's trying to hold the 618 here. And it never went back to the 50%. So this looks bullish to me, BMNR. And so I did another retrace on this side. So from, let's see, are you in the way? No, I haven't even done it. Oh, wait, it's a weekly chart. So there's probably some pre-market action that's not in here. So from 160.96 to 27.60, it's trying to get back over 33.57 will be the 1111. Then ultimately, it really wants to test back this 50% level at 66.65. It might get stuck under 66.65 for a long time before it can break out and then extend past 160.96. So anyway, I've right here, price should want to retest this 50% level sooner than later, 66.65. And just a retest of that level, just to get there and fail from where price is right now, it's 109% higher from where price is now. I think my cost basis is somewhere very close to that, actually. But yeah, BMNR is bankrupting my family as well, for the moment, because I bought too early and then held too long. But there we go. How about back to you, Matt, and then I'll see which of my charts wants to load back here.
Yeah, let's take a look here. Okay, I see BitDeer, Fetch. Yeah, I'll do some of the miners too. Let's do BTDR and then Mara, and then I'll do that Fetch as well. Fetch AI. BitDeer, how's it looking? Well, it's looking great, right? It's doing a backtest thing right now. So we got the 1475 just getting rejected right there. And that is the previous 2023 top back there. And we're range bound, right? We're in between basically the 1219 and the 1475. But ultimately, going back down to the weekly conversion line around that $13 zone, even the 1272 50-week moving average is acceptable too. But this is part of the process of trying to break out as well, right? It's just been stuck underneath there for a while, trying to break that 1475. It's not able to yet, but give it a little bit more time, and I think it will. And once it does, then I think the 20s and 30s can come again. And we'll do Mara as well. And Mara, we can see that it's getting some liquidity, or it did get some liquidity below that all these averages right there, but it's trying to reclaim that pre-market. So we're good, right? This is a high demand zone. This is a very, very powerful support, and it wants to stay in that zone. So I like it, right? Anything that shows weakness below that 17 was truly an opportunity. And I was telling my Patreon that as well. It's basically a good opportunity to feel this pain because it's breakout backtest of this super important zone. So I'm watching basically $17, right? Just keeping that range, and any kind of liquidity grab underneath there is amazing in my opinion. So Mara, yeah, it's going to do fine. It's going to go back to the 19s, 20s, and above. And lastly, let's do that Fetch AI. And Fetch AI is very similar to that of Mara, really, right here. We're getting back to this big demand zone, right? This is the 200-week moving average, the baseline conversion lines, all in that same zone, and it's just getting liquidity right below it right now. So I love it, right? 69.7 is that 200-week moving average, and it just keeps getting rejected at this 382. And but now it's slowly but surely is trying to get on top of the baseline conversion line and the 200-week moving average. So this could be one of the final back tests before it actually wants to break. So that you couldn't really ask for anything more for Fetch right now. This is a very, very beautiful looking chart because it's starting to be more on top of these averages and just currently getting liquidity below. But I think it has a strong probability of closing Sunday above everything, and then maybe the following week start to head higher. So I like what Fetch is doing. I like what Mara's doing. I like what all the Bitcoin miners are doing, really. And it just feels like risk on by looking at the charts, right? It looks like risk on for everything. It's coming soon. Tracker, back to you.
Thanks, Matt. All right, I've got unusual machines here on deck. I'm kind of jumping around through the requests, kind of cherry picking things that we haven't maybe looked at in a while, or Mucho says that their hands are bloody from catching these falling knives. All right, so UMAC, here is where it was 98 cents. It runs up to $25.49 and then consolidates back down to $4.15. So there's your wave one, wave two. And then just a minimum 382,236 is what I predicted. And look, it's exactly what we got. I haven't moved these since I think I kind of tracked this action and maybe pulled this to the 382 right here, or this 50% fib right here at 1324, the retracement. We got a little bit over the 50%, not quite to 1351, but there you go. And then the pullback, well, I was expecting 993, and we got more than that, but not a lot more. This is a 16-hour chart, so this does include, this does include all of the aftermarket action and pre-market action. 922 seems to be, yes, 922 is the low. It could touch this cloud. It could go all the way down to 809, 811. Some of these charts have gone 382 to 11.4, and then they jump up to 123.6. But so anyway, I'm not going to predict lower. But if it did go lower, that's just more opportunity to get more of it. It should want to go to the 1236 up here next for about 273% higher. And that'll be the heart of the wave three here. Yeah, for UMAC. So it's good. It's following my charts pretty perfectly, actually. Let's see. I'm obsessed with XRP. I wanted to show what my XRP is doing. And here is it this one or it's this other one? It's this other one. All right, so for our chart, no, it was this one, dang it. It's neither one of these. Never mind. I'm not going to bother with XRP. Sorry. I had a really lovely chart on my other screen that showed how price was in this beautiful triangle and is now breaking out. It had a breakout back test on a very small scale. Actually, that's what Bitcoin did. I didn't talk about that, but Bitcoin did. hate it when these things don't load as fast as I want them to. Let's see, does this one show my triangle? It doesn't, but I can just show it to you. If when you hold down the control key, capture the wicks, but you can also capture the candle bodies. So if I do this candle body to this candle body to this candle body to this candle body, no, dang it, that's not it either. That just looks terrible. Anyway, the one I was looking for was more something like this, where it broke out, back tested, but then fell back in. It's trying to break out, back test again. Maybe Bitcoin just needs to come up here to August 4th and then move up to really break out the whole sector. Anyway, I think I'm overly obsessed with crypto right now. A sector that I was once very wary of, and now I've gone all crazy into again. Avashay wants to see my galaxy chart. Absolutely. Let's take a look. There we go. It's loading. It's loading. Galaxy chart, 16 hours. It's finished. It's wave 1. It's wave 2. It's in wave 3 now, and it's heading for 48.89. Even though Monday was like a great time to have sold some Galaxy for a profit and then buy it back anytime this week, even today or maybe tomorrow even. Let's see. So from where price is right now, though, about 79% higher to get to my 123.6 at 48.89, or it looks like 48.22 on the retracement side of this. But yeah, about 80% higher for Galaxy. Then we get a wave 4. The wave 2, I'd call this on a long wave 2, so the wave 4 will probably be shorter than the wave 2 was. All right, that's it. Back to you, Matt.
Yes, sir. All right, I see some more requests here. A BTBT. Yeah, a lot of people are talking about that, but this one was beautiful. Here's another example of a breakout backtest and closing the gap too. So even when you just look at the market symmetry of my chart and without anything else, no indicators, no fibs or anything, just look at that. Like you can just see how beautiful this has been. The orange level, the arc. It's a breakout backtest of the arc finally, and it's maintaining that. So it's basically ready, and I think it will hold simply because the fact that a lot of support is down there in the same zone, kind of like Mara, right? We can see that you got all the averages right here around the 309. You got the 100-week moving average and the arc down here. This is beautiful, right? It's a breakout backtest. You want to be cautious at resistance, but bullish at support. But people are the opposite. They want to be bullish up here and then very, very scared down here. It's just weird mentality to me because you don't make money that way. You don't make money by chasing. You make money by buying support, right? And once you do that, you can accumulate until it's ready to go. And then when it's ready, then back to 360s, 370s, $4 and above. So BTBT, it was fantastic. I actually bought more in the 270s yesterday. So that was a great dip for me. And I think it's ready to continue the journey higher. And my first buy ever for BTBT was right down here at the 209, right underneath that zone. So I think I finally decided to buy more and dollar cost average up because this back test is just so juicy and beautiful. All right, let's go look at Elf on a Shelf here. Eyes looking in space. Elf, we got our successful back test, right? I told you many times to be cautious up here, and then finally the 50-week moving average hit as a back test, bullish at support, cautious at resistance, and now we're continuing the journey higher and being pushed up by the weekly conversion line there around 118. So it just keeps stabilizing above that zone, and this can continue to the resistance above at the 131, maybe even the 140s, maybe even the 150s, 170s above. So I think it might just be range bound for a little bit because as we can see before, that arc was a big resistance before, and it was a big breakdown level, right? A bearish engulfing right below that arc. So it might be pretty powerful, and it might not be able to break above just yet. So we're going to probably be range bound for a little bit between maybe the 130s and maybe even the bottom of the cloud area, the 110. So I think anywhere in that range is fine. But as long as it just stays inside this cloud, builds a nice foundation inside there, it'll eventually break and get more bullish because the chart does want to be more bullish. It just might take more time. All right, tracker.
Let's see here. I was going to... Where'd it go? I just had it. Oh, the Smarter Web Company. Here we go. TSWC, the Smarter Web Company. This is the OTC version that you can buy through the your American exchanges. Um, so here it is in log scale right now, and if you go from the bottom to the top, 0 to 1, the 50% level is right here at $2.92. And look to the right, and look, it's been trying really hard to make that. It's been oscillating around. It's trying to make 292. The support is falling a little bit below it right now. We go back to linear scale, and that's how I do my fib extensions here. And earlier I thought, it's catching the falling knife, right? This is where I had my 1-2, and it went up a little bit to the 382, but then lost the 236, and it made a new lower low. So now 251 is my wave 2 bottom, and my wave 3 sub 1 is 559. Let's see here. I'll up this. So from where pricing is now, if it goes to 559, that's about 112% higher. The 123.6 is 371% higher. And if it doesn't fail and fall apart at the wave 4, then it goes to wave 5, and that's $20.51. That's 681% higher from where price is right now. The key thing is on the log scale. Let's go back to log scale. It really needs to make 292 its bitch and bring it back to support again. And there you go. It's a 272. It's fighting it right now. And then I was going to do, I need a little bit more time. I wanted to do this new chart I've never seen before, Induct AS, but I'll do that while Matt's doing something else. So let me do MTPLF real quick. MTP, because I've already got that chart in MTPLF. Metaplanet. Matt doesn't like to chart it, doesn't have a lot of history. But I tried to chart it here, and let's see, from $1.61 to $16, and then back down here is your wave 2, and then it did do the wave 1, wave 2, it did 618, 236. So the 1236 is next. I got to change this back to linear scale, and just let's do like this. All right, so oh no. See, it lost it though. It lost the 236. It's going back to 11.4. So this one's going to end up doing 618, 11.4, which I kind of feel like it could mean that wants to go to the 1618 next. That'd be kind of crazy, but I've seen it happen. Let's just say the falling knife, if it goes down to 722, buy that. But if it goes to 718, then maybe get out. Like that should be like your mental stop or whatever. This is kind of messy still for a while, but I think it could be the bottom now, and that we could be looking at price improvement of somewhere along the lines of 264%. That's your risk reward. 264% higher versus if you bought it now and it got a lower low than the wave 2 right here, 34% lower. All right, that's your risk reward. All right, back to you, Matt. I'm going to try to drop this INDC Induct AS.
All right, yeah, I'll just do a couple more before it's my time to leave. And I'll do one that I haven't really done in a while. I'll do a couple here. And ALTS, this is going back for a back test after getting rejected at the 786 fib. So it's doing a perfectly normal thing, getting rejected at resistance right where it should, right here. Now going back to test the lower levels of support. And that could even go back down to the 508 or even this 618 fib right here at 476. So I think maybe a little bit lower before higher. Yes, pre-market it is up, but we could see something like this where perhaps it just comes back up, confirms that 723 as a resistance, and then maybe just comes back down and retests the support until it is ready to get more bullish. So I think it's just going to be more time to break out, but it is a bullish looking chart. And let's see spot here. Spotify, it's going back for its back test too of the 1.272 fib, and actually just bounced there yesterday perfectly, 618.79. We're going to watch that as a potential support, but if it ever starts to close weekly candles below this 618 right here, 618.79, then there is a potential to go for an even deeper back test. And it is possible, especially after breaking below this level at 658 and the arc and the baseline. So it's like so far, unless this candle can just close back above levels by Friday, if it closes the way it looks like right now, I think the potential of breaking the support is there, mainly because it's a bearish engulfing candle cutting through multiple levels, and especially my green GAN level and the arc and the baseline. So we'll see how this Friday closes. If it can close maybe in the 640s or 650s again, that'll be a more bullish scenario. But if it closes around current price, then I might see it come back down to the 530s, touch the cloud, maybe in the 520s, 519s, or maybe even go towards this purple angle right here, which could be into maybe the low 500s as well. So it'll be important to see how this weekly candle closes. So far, it's maintaining, right? So we don't really need to be too cautious yet. But if this does close Friday the way it looks right now, it could just lose this support easily. So that's what I'm watching the most. Stay above it, maybe kind of climb a little bit higher before the end of the week to have a better look on the overall chart. All right, Tracker, finish it off. Take us out. Do it.
All right, you got it. Let's see here. One way of looking at induct here, obviously, is to just look at the whole history of it on log scale. And here it is. I'm sorry, I've drawn a couple things on here that I thought would be interesting, but let me actually get rid of this triangle here. So from this high, way up here at $37.60, floating island all by itself, it drops back down immediately to the 50% level, all the way, to where it's going to end up eventually. Can't get a higher high, drops down to the 236. The 618 resistance, it drops down to the 236 again. It almost gets over the 618 this time, but no, it falls below. It argues the 50% level a lot, and eventually loses it, comes all the way down to its all-time low, $1.37. Right now, it's trying to reclaim that 50% level, or at least test it, that 50% level. So look for a breakout back test of that. Maybe we'll get it on the linear scale here. Let's see. So all I've done now is I've just taken, there isn't a lot of higher high, higher low. All we've got is right here at the end, this tip here. So from this low of $1.37 to this high of $6.10, and this wave 2 pullback to $2.66, the 382.236 looks like it's already done. Like it did more than 382. And then actually went, look at this, it went to 11.4. I missed that. These are 2-week candlesticks, so it's a lot of price action here. So now it's in its wave 3 now. It had a wick up to the 50%, kind of pulled back from it, but it's still holding pretty well. We just need to see it get over this 1111 at 540, and from there it can test. Oh, right, because now this is linear scale on the left now. So get above the linear retracement 540. Really, from the 114, maybe it'll go instead of 123.6, maybe it'll go 1618 like that, and then 100% back test, and then the 238 wave 5 extension, or maybe the 2618. Oh, and that gets us back to the 382 on the linear scale. Oh, I like this. And how about on long scale? How's that look? Oh, that's the wrong one. This one right here. That gets us to the 7071 in log scale. Yeah, here. Now you can kind of see it the way I've drawn it. This would be the breakout through the 50% at 720, passes through it in wave 3, gets almost to the 618, back tests the 50% at 720, so then it can go on to the 7071, which is about, well, it's 1430 right there, isn't it? All right, so the final thing from where price is right now to wave 3 top, that's about 141%. To back test the support here, $7.20, that's 68% higher from where the price is now. And then to get to the 7071 on the log scale retracement fibs, that's 237% higher from where INDCT is now. So there you go. I know it's not a stock that a lot of you care about, but that was fun to do and give you a little tutorial. And you can see on the 2-week chart, it's still quite red. On the 1 week, I'm looking at the Ichimokus here. Oh, look here, there's a little green, red, green, right? So we just need to see it flip. On the daily chart, is it more green? Yes, it's more green. And on the 16-hour chart, it looks kind of like the daily chart, really. All right, there you go. It's bullish right now, INDC. And so, anyway, guys, I really think that we're very close to the bottom for crypto, and that's going to be heading back up soon. So, if you're in a position that's crypto dependent, don't sell out now. It's practically the bottom. Just hang in there. If you've got more money, DCA. If you don't have any more money, just you know, go do something else. Play video games. Don't watch the market for another day or so. There you have it.
Yeah, that's it for me today. And I see a question: what about Circle? I'd rather have Coinbase instead of Circle because Coinbase has more charting history for me, and I think they have a stake in some Circle too. So that's my choice, Coinbase. And it's actually up $10, $12 this morning. Basically of that JP Morgan partnership for Coinbase. So the Chase partnership, I should say.
You know what's funny, Matt? The other day I sold some of my positions to raise some cash, and instead of holding it cash, I said, you know what? I'll just hold it in Conel, and that's my quote unquote cash position.
Yeah,
So
I mean it's paying off well. People that bought support yesterday, I think, are benefiting today. So good developments there. But that's all the time I got for today. Thanks, Tracker. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one.
thank you, Matt. Good luck out there, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.